In the streets of Jacksonville, tension is reaching a boiling point. Zoic, Foolio's cousin, is about to be released from prison, and the whispers on the street suggest that he's not coming home just to make music. Instead, he's returning to settle scores. The long-standing feud between KTA and ATK is escalating, with violence threatening to consume both sides in a deadly cycle that seems impossible to break. As Kojak's release approaches, everyone is asking the same question: is ATK prepared for what's coming? The rivalry between KTA and ATK has been simmering for years, growing from a musical competition into a full-blown war. Zoic and Foolio weren't just cousins, they were partners in navigating the dangerous streets of Jacksonville, supporting each other in their music careers and daily lives. When Foolio was murdered, Zoic lost more than a friend, he lost family. Now, as Zoic prepares to be released after serving 3 years in prison for gun possession, the word on the street is that he's out for blood. Kojak's desire for retribution is hardly surprising in Jacksonville's gang culture, where the street code often demands revenge for fallen friends. Yungeen Ace, the face of ATK, is at the center of this feud, representing the rival faction that has been locked in a deadly game with KTA. What started as a musical rivalry quickly escalated into violence, with diss tracks turning into death threats and street fights leading to shootings. Foolio was the most visible member of KTA, while Yungeen Ace represents ATK. These two figures have used their fame to troll, threaten, and provoke each other, further fueling the flames of conflict. One of the earliest and most significant blows in this feud came in 2018, when Foolio's mother was shot 8 times in what was likely a targeted attack meant to send a message. The violence didn't stop there. Zion Brown, another cousin of Kojak's, was brutally murdered in his own home, a place that should have been safe from the chaos outside. Zion's death was especially painful, not just because of the family ties, but because of the manner in which she was killed. Zion's sister, who survived the attack, identified the shooter as Deanter Thomas, a Facebook friend and the boyfriend of one of her close friends. Thomas, already known to the police for drug possession and burglary, had a history that connected him to Yungeen Ace. The connection between Thomas and Yungeen Ace became even more apparent when, on the day Foolio was gunned down, Ace released his Do It music video. The timing of the release was no coincidence. The video, filled with imagery of Ace flaunting money and weapons, felt like a victory lap, a declaration that Ace wasn't just surviving the feud, he was thriving in it. The lyrics, which spoke of street life and unrelenting hatred for enemies, only added fuel to the fire for Foolio's supporters. To them, the video was an insult, a reminder that their leader was gone while Ace stood tall and defiant. The release of the video and the subsequent denial by Ace of any involvement in Foolio's murder did little to calm the rising tensions. Ace took to Instagram Live to distance himself from the killing, insisting that the feud wasn't as personal as people believed. However, his taunting remarks, including a mock confession of crying over Foolio's death, only served to infuriate Foolio's crew. For them, this was more than just a feud, it was a matter of honor, and Ace's mockery was a line that couldn't be crossed. Kojak's silence on the matter has left many wondering if Yungeen Ace is now a marked man. Foolio's death will not go unanswered, and Kojak's imminent release only heightens the anticipation of what's to come. Meanwhile, Yungeen Ace has sent out his own ominous message, warning that anyone who approaches him should be ready to die or go to jail. This defiant tone, a stark contrast to his earlier statements of regret, serves as a clear warning to Zoic and anyone else seeking revenge. The streets of Jacksonville are more dangerous than ever. To fully grasp the gravity of Ace's warning, it's essential to remember that he barely survived an attack in 2018 that claimed the lives of 3 of his friends. That night, after a trip to a bowling alley, Ace and his crew were ambushed by gunfire, resulting in the deaths of Trayvon Bullard, Royale Smith, and Jacob Groover. Ace himself was shot multiple times but survived. This attack was a turning point in the Jacksonville feud, sparking a cycle of violence that has only escalated since. Barely a week after Foolio's murder, another shocking killing rocked Jacksonville. Darius Beals, the older brother of the feared shooter Lil Leaky, was gunned down in a parking lot. Lil Leaky, a key member of the 1200 gang, had a long-standing rivalry with Foolio, one that had almost led to Foolio's girlfriend being killed in a drive-by shooting. The killing of Darius Beals, so soon after Foolio's death, was seen as too much of a coincidence to be ignored. The violence didn't stop there. Even women found themselves caught in the crossfire. In one particularly chilling incident, a woman was shot multiple times while sitting in her car. Although the police have not confirmed a direct link to the ongoing feud, many believe the timing and circumstances suggest otherwise. The woman, who was shot in the arm, leg, and back, survived, but the attackers escaped, leaving behind a trail of fear and suspicion. In Jacksonville's gang culture, women are often used as pawns, and Foolio's death was no exception. Police reports indicate that the killers used a woman to trick one of Foolio's friends into revealing his location. This tactic, not new to Foolio, had been used against him before. In October 2023, an attempt on Foolio's life left him wounded, and even as he recovered in the hospital, his life remained at risk due to a nurse allegedly leaking his location. As bodies continue to pile up, the investigation into Foolio's murder has intensified. Despite the culture of silence that pervades the streets, law enforcement has made significant progress, arresting several suspects linked to the crime. Among those arrested are 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, 21-year-old Alicia Andrews, 18-year-old Sean Gathright, and 30-year-old Rashad Murphy. Police are still searching for the final suspect, 27-year-old David Murphy. The suspects, believed to be members of ATK and 1200, are thought to have carried out the murder as part of a broader plan to destabilize KTA. Surveillance footage, digital transactions, and witness statements have all played crucial roles in piecing together the events leading up to Foolio's death. Alicia Andrews, in particular, played a significant role in the murder plan. Her use of a known gang member's name to book an Airbnb and her connections to the payment methods used in the crime helped investigators track the group's movements. The evidence against the suspects is overwhelming, including surveillance footage showing them preparing for the hit, obtaining weapons, and moving around the city in the hours before the murder. One of the most damning pieces of evidence is the connection between the firearms used in the killing and those recovered during a traffic stop involving Sean Gathright. These weapons, equipped with brass catchers designed to prevent the recovery of spent shell casings, were linked to multiple shootings, including the one that claimed Foolio's life.